Have you ever wondered what on earth does a realtor really do, and do we add value to you? Do you think that what we actually do is show a few homes and sit back and just sort of wait to collect that big commission check? Well, I'm about to tell you all the tasks that a good realtor should do for you so that you can make a decision whether to work with us or not, and it starts right now. Hi, I'm Maria Wells, broker owner of Lifestyle Realty Group here on the Treasure Coast of Florida. And I'm going to talk to you about the hard work a realtor really does if they're doing their job. But first, I want to tell you the difference between a real estate agent and a realtor. A realtor must abide by the National Association of Realtors Code of Ethics. A real estate agent does not abide by the code, nor do they get the certifications of extra education that helps us work with our buyers and sellers. There are all sorts of real estate brokerages, different models. There's ones that are full service, and there's one that have limited service that maybe just put your listing into MLS and don't help you through the rest of the transaction. But I'm going to tell you right now exactly what we do if you decide to go with a full service agent. Did you know there are over 187 tasks involved, whether we're working with a buyer or seller, to get you to the closing table and after, because there's always things to do. Are you looking to purchase? Well, let me just tell you, it is a tough market right now, and this is when you really need the skill of a good realtor to get you through this process. We assist you in getting the right lender. Do you get pre-approved? Do you get approved? You need to sell a home first, and how can you make that financing work? Do you know what the amount that you can pay or what down payment you have, or do you have credit to repair that we can help you by guiding you to the right professional to be able to help you with that? We know about property taxes. We know which areas, what kind of taxes they have. We also understand with capital gains that you must live in a home 2 out of 5 years so that you don't have to pay capital gains, and you get the benefit, whether you're single or married, of not having to pay taxes on a certain amount. And if you're a foreign seller, there's what's called a FERPTA tax, and many times we can help you make sure that that may not have to happen. But those are all skills and education that a realtor who's experienced will be able to provide you. If you're searching for properties, that can be daunting because you may go on to different online websites, Zillow, Realtor.com, and it's showing something active, but many times it's not because they can't show that status change. So we can make your life easier by setting up perfect searches of what your haves, must-haves, and what you don't want, to save you a lot of time and energy to make sure we can find you the right and perfect property. In addition to the searching, we check out flood zones, so we make sure that you're not in a heavy flood zone. Have there been any building permits done on a home so you know what's been repaired and what hasn't been repaired? Maybe you're interested in school districts. We get that information to you. So now if you are a seller and want to list your home, so we start with a pre-listing task sheet, and that has to do, we do the research with figuring out pricing, get an analysis so that we make sure that it's priced right, that it's going to appraise and be able to give you good advice with that. And there's many other things, again, building permits and all the information that we need to be able to provide to a buyer when they come to see your home. Then we go on the listing appointment. At that point, we discuss the pricing of the research we've just done. We look at your home to see what needs to happen to make sure that we have it prepared well so that we can market it well for you to get the highest price. And we make sure that your house basically smiles by having a perfect picture day. Everyone wants to look at homes with lots of pictures. That is critical when we're putting a home on the market. So once your property is on the multiple listing service or the MLS, it's very important that you have a realtor who's going to fill in all the fields, because the way people search is by the fields in MLS. So a complete form is really important. Some realtors will say that they're doing it all, but you really need to make sure they are. Then, of course, it's creating brochures, marketing your home, doing an open house, coordinating the showings, following up, and the list goes on once your home is on the market till we get to the point of an offer and contract. Now, in this day and age, we are getting multiple offers and they're coming quickly. If your home has been staged properly, if you've got everything in order with the great pictures, all of it, then I'm going to tell you again, you're going to get multiple offers, and that can be a daunting task. So once that happens, we evaluate each of them, we look at them, we review them with you, we go back and we negotiate for the best offer that can possibly happen. And if you're a buyer, we're going to work it on the other side for you from the experience of understanding how a seller thinks, and we're going to make sure that all the proper paperwork is done. All right, so then we have to track the loan process. Once you are under contract and we've agreed and negotiated, the loan, if there is one, is critical to making sure you're going to make it to the closing table. So a good realtor will call the buyer's lender, make sure that they are very solvent, that they can get approved. And we already pretty much are aware that the home will appraise because we've already properly, hopefully, priced the home. Now, in this fast-paced market, we're seeing homes selling for over listed price. So sometimes that can be a little bit scary, but you need to watch my video on what you do if your appraisal doesn't come through, and I have that link below also. So as we go through this and we are through the loan or getting through the loan, part of what we have to do is also all the tracking. We have home inspections. Home inspections are probably the toughest part of the entire transaction once it's under contract, because this is when an inspector comes in and looks at absolutely everything in your home. At that point, when we get a report back, if we're working with the seller, then we need to go through, are there anything that, if it's selling as is, that would be structural? Because basically a seller needs to repair that, or their choice is to repair it or not to repair it, but we really recommend if it's structural to repair it, because somebody else is going to find that too. So whether we're working with a buyer or a seller in home inspections, is that we need to negotiate a good solution that's going to help both parties move this forward to get us to the next step, closer to the closing. So once we get close to the closing, we've gotten the loan approved, we've had a good appraisal, we've negotiated inspections. Now it's making sure that the title company has done their part, that we have final walkthroughs. If there's a homeowners association, has the approval gone through? Have we made sure that the sellers of that property are current on their home owner's dues so that you don't owe anything? We have to make sure we get keys and clickers and make sure utilities are turned off. Walk our sellers or buyers through on turning on utilities or turning off utilities, and making sure that everything is very smooth so that when we get to the closing table, there's nothing other than signing documents, and one party gets the check and the other party gets the keys. So the bottom line is this: when you're working with a realtor, I only gave you sort of skimming of the list, but you need experience. Experience is extremely important to make sure that your realtor has the ability to be able to work and get you to the solutions that you need to have. We need to have location-specific knowledge. Work with a realtor in your area who can give you all the ins and outs of a community to make it very helpful. Our negotiation skills need to be stellar, because we need to make sure that you either get the most money you can as a seller, or as a buyer, you hopefully pay less than you have to pay, and that we've negotiated well for you to get repairs or whatever must be done to the house. And our professional connections, whether it's title companies, painters, contractors, all of those vendors are so important for us to make sure that you have a smooth transaction. And remember, we are not done once it's closed. After the closing, we expect to hear from you numerous times and throughout the years to answer any questions about your home, improvements you might want to do. Would you be over improving or not improving? There are so many answers that we can give you to give you knowledge in the home buying process so that when you decide to sell that home, that you will be able to do well on it too, and that you haven't over improved. So please link below. I have the 187 tasks that we do, so you can get that. And for further information that I have down there, you can either call me or text me or email me. So in the meantime, happy house hunting.